Okay, good morning. Morning class. So for our discussion for today, we shall talk about exploring the range of topics and doing a qualitative research as well as crafting effective research topics. But before that, let's have a review of what we had already in our class, primarily defining what qualitative research is all about. We said that when we talk about qualitative research, it's one of the methods of research used for us to be able to understand. Number one, we will understand the human behavior, experiences of people, and the social phenomena. How do we do that? We will explore people's thoughts, feelings, and perspectives. So instead of using numbers or statistics, we will focus on descriptive data. What are those descriptive data? We will use words, observations, and narratives. Now, in the activity, um, I'm not so sure if you did the activity already. Let me just ask Hannah and Jaden, did you do the activity of the five senses already?
No pa po.
Hindi pa. O anyways, when we have our class, I will ask you to be able to do the five senses activity wherein you will have to be able to explore. I will assign you to specific areas in the school and be able to write and observe using your five senses. What have you seen? What have you heard? What have you smelled? And the other um, senses, and you will have to be able to write that. Now, when we talk about qualitative research, it normally would answer the questions how and why. Again, I will repeat. It will answer the questions how and why rather than how many and how much. So it answers the questions how and why, the question how or the why questions rather than the how many or how much. So be able to remember that. So that's for quantitative. But for qualitative, how and why questions only. We also talked about the four major types of qualitative research, primarily um, first, the phenomenological research, now where it focused primarily on the lived experiences of individuals. And the purpose is to be able to understand how people experience a particular event or a phenomenon. For example, studying the experiences of, let's say, nurses during a pandemic. And uh, that would entail a lot of really interesting information or insights of how they were able to have lived or do as a nurse in the hospital setting. Now, the second type of qualitative research is what we call the ethnographic research. Now, this time you will now focus on cultural groups and social practices. And your purpose is to deeply understand um, the group's lifestyles or even behaviors and values. A very good example of this one is observing a rural community to understand traditional, for example, child rearing practices. Now, for example, in rural areas, yung pagpapaanak is really a tradition. Some will not be able to go to the hospital, but will just look for a komodrona, or if there is no midwife, yun nga, kamodrona, or even a manghihilot, to be able to do the actual ritual of pagpapaanak. But in the city, of course, that's different because pregnant women will have to be able to deliver the child in a hospital. So that's an ethnographic research. You talk about a cultural group or a social practice that can be studied. The third is what we call a grounded theory. Now, your focus here is for you to develop theories based on the data collected from your participants. Now, your purpose is for you to be able to build new theories from the observed patterns. Now, a very good example of this one is creating a theory on, let's say, student motivation based on interviews with high school students. So you will be able to build a theory about student motivation, getting it from your interviews coming from high school students. And the last common qualitative research is what we call a case study. So here you will focus on either a single case study pertaining to a small or a number of cases or a multiple case study involving large number of cases in depth, meaning mas malalim na pag-aaral or investigation or research. Now, your purpose here is for you to be able to gain comprehensive insight into a specific instance. Now, an example is an in-depth look at one school's approach to inclusive education. So you could either focus on how a school approaches inclusive education in one school, or you can have several schools. Now we talk about how is qualitative research used. Saan ba ginagamit ito? So this is used in education and for example, understanding student needs, the classroom dynamics, or teaching effectiveness. And then we have healthcare. So exploring, for example, patient experiences, okay, or how healthcare providers deliver the care. We have also business for ABM students, like you. You can study the consumer behavior, the brand perception, or even the workplace culture. Okay? So let's say habits of employees in an actual work setup. Or for UMS naman, they can for social sciences, investigating social issues like poverty, discrimination, or family dynamics. But that has to be later on specific. Kasi broad yun eh. Pag sinabi mo lang poverty, what about poverty? What about discrimination? And what about family dynamics? So in summary, when we talk about qualitative research, this is very rich, it's detailed and insightful for exploring deep questions about our human behavior, our emotions, and our culture. So this will help you as a researcher and even teachers, professionals, make meaningful improvements in the various field that was mentioned by understanding the why, okay, behind actions and experiences. So I guess those are the relevant topics or informations that uh, we have talked about already. Okay. Now, we now proceed with our discussion for today. So our topic will have to understand again, going back to qualitative research as seen in the in the this lecture, understanding the human experiences, the social context, and the complex phenomena through in-depth exploration. I think I made mention of this one, mas malalim na exploration of either experiences, practices of a person, on an organization, or a group. So one of the foundational steps in conducting a meaningful qualitative study is identifying an appropriate and relevant research topic, which you are going to be able to do very soon, and hopefully be able to explore the range of topics that can be addressed using these qualitative methodologies and guide you in writing the effective and researchable qualitative topics. So these are some of the learning outcomes to identify and explain the different types of topics suitable for your qualitative research, understand the importance, the relevance, and the meaningful research topic, develop the skills in crafting your effective qualitative research topics, and evaluate the scope and feasibility of proposed qualitative research topics, and align research topics with appropriate qualitative methodologies. So pag meron ka ng topic, eventually, the 5 topics that I will require, you will choose your top 3 and your top choice. And with your top choice, we'll be able to translate that into your title, from the title later on to the methodology that you will be using. Now, here are some of the reasons why we need to understand the range of these qualitative research topics. Number 1, this is to ensure relevance. Okay. Now, when we select from a wide range of topics, this ensures that the research addresses the real-world issues and responds to societal needs. Second, this will be able to promote depth of inquiry, mas malalim na pagsasaliksik. So, knowing the possibilities within the qualitative research encourages you to pursue deeper, mas malalim, at more meaningful, mas makahulugan na mga tanong. So the third is informs methodology. So your topic would directly influence later on the choice of your research design. Ano ka ba? Pang case study ka ba? Pang ethnography? Pang grounded theory ba yan? Or for phenomenology? Now, the fourth is it guides your literature review. So a well-defined topic helps narrow down your sources, theories, and the frameworks for you to be able to explore. And the fifth one enhances your engagement. So students are more likely to be passionate and uh, committed to study they find personally or professionally significant. Okay. Okay, now we proceed with number 6. So this would have to improves rigor. Okay, a clear and well-scoped topics reduce ambiguity and improve the focus and structure of the study. So this will support the ethical inquiry, and a well-thought-out topic or yung pinag-isipang mabuti na topic helps anticipate and address the ethical concerns, especially in vulnerable populations. So when we focus on yung mga ethical inquiries, mas magiging madali yung research natin because you have asked permission, you are well aware of certain issues na sensitive. Let's say, when we say vulnerable, this could be populations, let's say the students in the grade school, persons with disability, and many others. And lastly, this would contribute to practice and policy. So topics that are relevant and contextually grounded can influence the educational, social health, or even the community-based policies and practices. Now, we proceed now with the range of topics that you can actually choose later on. You can choose lived experiences, yung experiences, yung buhay ng tao, exploring their personal narratives, the lived experiences of individuals. For ABM students, you might want to focus, let's say, on lived experiences of, let's say, retail store managers, pwede yun. Or let's say the lived experiences of, let's say, Move It or Grab motorcycle drivers, can yung mga ganon. Experiences of frontline health workers during a pandemic. Now, second is the cultural practices. So understanding traditional customs, beliefs, or rituals. Example, indigenous educational practices in the rural communities. Okay. Third, social issues. Examining contemporary societal problems such as youth, unemployment, bullying, or gender discrimination. Again, this is just broad. Okay, but you have to be specific later on and you will have to be able to clarify it. Educational settings. Investigating classroom dynamics, student-teacher relationships, or inclusive education practices. And then you have the organizational culture, studying behaviors, values, and norms in the workplace or institutions. Number 6, identity and belonging. You can explore individuals, construct their identities. Example, the LGBTQ plus identity formation in a conservative society. Then you can also do health and wellness, examining patient experiences, mental health narratives, or traditional healing practices. Ito pang STEM yan. Technology and society. Pwede naman technology, but the business behind technology for ABM students. Investigating the impact of digital tools on human interaction, learning, communication, family, and relationship. There was a study conducted by an ABM student who talked about family business, understanding parenting practices, sibling dynamics, or marriage in different cultures. And finally, in the range of topics, advocacy and activism. So studying movements, protests, or community organizing from the perspective of the participants. Now, let's now proceed on how to write effective qualitative research topics. Number 1, it all starts with a broad area of interest. So you begin with a general idea that you are interested, that you're passionate. For example, business. But what about business? Masyado malawak yun. Are you pertaining to a retail industry business? Okay? You have to be specific. Second, you have to narrow it down to a specific context. Focus on a group, a setting, or an issue. An example, teaching practices in urban schools, or let's say uh, uh, managing practices, okay, of let's say a particular store. Pero dapat specific yun kung anong store yun. Third is use open-ended wording. Avoid yes or no questions. Instead, use phrases like explore, understand, examine. And number four, you have to consider the participants. Identify who will be studied, such as teachers, students, or even, let's say, the patient, or businessman in your case, or the consumers. Number five, you have to specify the phenomenon. Clearly define the central experience or behavior under investigation. Number six, you can add contextual details. Mention the setting or environment where the study will take place. Now, avoid vague terms. You have to be clear, specific about the research focus. And you have to align with qualitative methodology. Ensure the topic is suitable for in-depth interpretative analysis. And you have to reflect cultural or societal relevance. You have to choose topics that address the current or the pressing issues. And number 10, you have to draft um, you have to draft and refine it. So you can write several versions of your topics, and later on we'll be able to get feedback to improve your clarity and scope. Okay, so those are the important steps on how to write your effective qualitative research topics. But you will be doing this separately in an activity. Dapat dalawa di activity nyo. One is the five senses. The second is ito na, yung writing your five topics and the reason of why choosing it. So you will be able to do that in our face-to-face meeting. Okay, so far so good ba? If it is good, can I see a thumbs up reaction? Okay. Sige. Okay, sige, let's have now, are there any other questions? Oh, I'm going to post our lecture for today and even this video for reference for the class. Okay, so sige, we'll all take a photo. Can you all switch your camera for our attendance? Okay, sige, saglit lang to. Okay. Okay, one, two, three. One more. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, sige. Thank you very much, and I will see you in our face-to-face classes. Bye, everyone.